Hello, today we'll be discussing how to pick your Penna 6 pullets for the Montgomery County 4-H Egg2Egg project. So pretty much what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be picking the 6 most uniform pullets that you have out of the eggs that you were given. So how do you tell which pullets are better than the other? Pretty much what you're going to be looking for is that their main body is going to be pretty much in the shape of a shoebox. It's going to be long, it's going to be wide, and it's going to be deep. And we're going to tell you pretty much how to determine all those characteristics. So the first thing that you're going to be looking at is width and depth. So when we talk about depth, we're going to be talking about how deep the body is. So how you do that uniformly is you hook your thumb right over the keel bone and just kind of see where your finger crosses the back of the bird. And you just have to do this the same for every single bird you do. So for this bird, it's that wide. You just use your hands to measure it, and when you go through your entire pen, make sure you record, what joint crosses over the back, which ones are deeper, which ones are smaller. Because the goal of this project is to get a nice uniform pen of 6, where pretty much all the birds have the same laying potential. The next thing you want to do is length. So for length, you're going to be looking at the top and the bottom. You're going to be looking at the keel bone, which you're going to take it right from the top to the bottom of the keel, which are pretty easy to feel. One's right by the breast and the other one comes out below the vent. So you're going to use that length, and you're once again going to apply this to all the birds in your pen, figuring out which ones are longer, which ones are shorter. For depth, larger is better, and once again for width, or for depth, width, and really everything you do, the bigger the better for the bird. So you want a nice long keel, you want a nice deep body, and then you're going to go for width of the back as well, and you really want a wide back. So you're going to take it from the shoulders and just feel your way back. So if you can see in this bird, when you take the width, your fingers in a good bird aren't really going to taper off any. It's going to hold the width it has at the shoulders all the way to and have the same width when you're comparing it to the pelvis. So you're going to go all the way back, and as long as your fingers don't run together or pinch, kind of like you would see at the end of the tail. If they start out wide and end out small, that's tapering, and it's just not as good. Because you want to have as much room in here so that it can easily produce larger eggs and easily pass those eggs. So pretty much the wider birds, the deeper birds, and the longer birds are going to be the birds you're going to be looking for. So once you go through all 6, or find out your 6 best, those are going to be the ones you want to put in the show. The ones you want to remove are oddly shaped birds, so birds with a very long back but a very short body. It just doesn't really fit in with the rest of your pen. Or conversely, if you have a really big bodied bird but has a really short back and a really short keel, you're not really going to want to use that bird because it's really going to mess up your consistency. So it's not necessarily about picking your 6 biggest birds, it's about picking your 6 most consistent birds. Also for this contest, color shouldn't really be your determining factor, but if you're between 2 and one of them's a very light bird like this and another one's a darker red or a darker brown, like a lot of the birds that you're going to be using are, go with the one that also has the color consistency. Because as much as it's not a huge factor, if you have one that just really stands out from the rest, that's what you're trying to avoid in every way. Whether it's looks or body size or anything else, you want to make sure that the birds you have are pretty much 6 clones of each other. The last thing to take into consideration is maturity. We all know what an adult hen looks like. Nice big red comb, fully developed wattles. You're going to have bleaching around the eye ring, vent. But you're going to want to look at birds and see if they're laying. If they're laying, it's an extra bonus because they will get you above a pen that is not yet laying, even if their birds are slightly bigger. So one way you can tell is you just kind of feel between the pubic bones. If a bird is laying, the pubic bones should be a little bit wider apart. You should be able to fit, for an adult male like me, like 2 to 3 fingers. And then between the pubic bones and the keel bone, 3 or 4. You're going to see birds that aren't laying yet, and you'll barely be able to put a finger between the pubic bones And when they're really tight like that, you know that they're not laying, even if you can't really see any bleaching. So that's pretty much it. Really, you're going for the 6 most consistent birds you have, and if you follow those steps, you should get a good pen of 6 to show. Thanks and giggle.